Welcome to another video. We are at the parish church of St Helen's in Saddington. So we're going to have a look around the outside and a look around the inside, and I'm going to read you some information. Situated some 10 miles southeast of Leicester and 6 miles northwest of Market Harborough, the village of Saddington has a population of around 250, and its nearest neighbour is Fleckney to the north. In 1066, the village belonged to Queen Edith, the wife of Edward the Confessor. After her death in 1075, the property passed to William I. By early in the 16th century, the manor of Saddington passed to Sir Richard Sacheverell. In 1531 it passed to his nephews John and William Findern and Henry, son of Thomas Sacheverell. In 1619 it was owned by Sir John Bale, and by the time of the enclosure in 1770 it was owned by William Wollaston, Esquire. Wollaston sold the manor to a Mr. Evans of Nottingham in 1798, and by 1846 the lady of the manor was Mrs. Dorothy Evans. In 1877 it was in the hands of her trustee, but shortly after the manorial rights seem to have lapsed. St Helen's consists of a west tower, nave, north and south aisles and the north porch. The church underwent a major restoration in 1872–73, and the earliest parts of the church still remaining are the 13th century south arcade and the tower, although later additions to the tower were added in the 15th century. In 1707 the tower was rebuilt after the spire was removed. That is a magnificent weather vane, isn't it? The font dates from the 14th century with its octagonal brooch-stopped base. In the 17th century, the church was reported as being in poor condition, being damp and unpainted. In 1662, the chancel was reported to be in ruins, apparently caused by fire and intruders. By 1777, the church was in better condition and ongoing repairs were carried out through to 1836. The restoration of 1872–73, undertaken by Frederick Peck, gave an early 14th century appearance to the exterior by the installation of new windows throughout the church. All have reticulated tracery. An exception was the east window in the chancel, of perpendicular style. This had been inserted by Goddards of Leicester in 1864. The organ chamber was added, and the north porch was replaced during the restoration, and it seems to have been at this time that the south porch was demolished, as was the gallery which existed in the late 18th century. The church now has a modern kitchen and serving area, and toilets are installed in the base of the tower. Saddington is a pretty village, and the church, although heavily restored, has some nice features and is well proportioned. The church is usually locked outside of normal services. Okay, we're going to have a look around the inside of the church now. I'm just zooming the camera up to the ringing chamber. Because I don't want to go up the rather precarious steps into the ringing chamber. This video was made a couple of days after Remembrance Sunday, which is why you see all the poppies around. And we'll have a look at the men from Saddington who lost their lives in the First and Second World Wars. Eric West, Fred Curson and Harold Curson in the Second World War. John Newcomb, Fred Thornton and Edgar Thias Harris in the First World War. This is a plan of the churchyard. The church toilet is twinned with one in a refugee camp in Bangladesh. Right, well, we're going to have a go on the piano. And now we're going to have a go on the organ. Let's try it again. Have you got time for all this? Right. And now for lunch in the pub, the Queen's Head in Saddington.